Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Mod and Fangame Showcase, and today I will be looking at a mod of a relatively recent game, Paper Mario the Origami King. So basically what this mod does is it basically improves Origami King and add things like new NPCs, like more creative NPCs, as well as new enemies, new weapons, and even new mechanics as well, but it's currently a work in progress, and so far, it looks great. Like, there's a lot of really cool NPCs here, like, NPCs basically on the level of Paper Mario 64 in terms of creativity. Since you can see here, there's like female toads, there's like toads with facial hair, and it's really cool to see like a lot more like variety in terms of character designs. So I feel like that's something that Origami King was lacking. But yeah, I think it's really cool. So if I go in the menu here, I could show that I also they also added things like new weapons, and some of them are skins for like weapons that already exist. But there's an update coming soon that will actually add in brand new attacks and everything, since they're finally able to do that. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's look around a little more at Toad Town, and I'm also going to show some of the other areas here. So yeah, I think it's cool that there's more variation among NPCs. Like I think that Toad is based on one of them from Thousand Year Door. But it looks really nice in the modern art style. Even though I prefer the classic art style, I think the original characters and like the more unique characters definitely look good in Origami King. And another thing you might notice is the fact that I'm actually walking around with Professor Toad, which isn't possible in the original game. You can actually bring partners anywhere with this mod, which is really cool, and it definitely adds to the experience and everything, since it makes partners more useful, even though you can't control them and everything in battle and everything. But I do think it is cool that you can at least take them around to other places and kind of use them in other areas. It gives a bit more flexibility. So I'm going down into the sewers here, because they actually added a new feature to it, which I think is pretty cool. It makes it more like the sewers from Thousand Year Door and 64. Basically, it makes it larger and also adds the pipe that actually takes you to the fast travel area, which is definitely a welcomed addition. Like, I know you could still access it in the museum, but I think it is cool that you can use the sewers to get to it. So let's look around at some of the different areas here. I think I'll go to Desert first. Okay. So going around here, I think the texture didn't load in yet. But there's also like new enemies here, like green Pokies, which are kind of, I think they were in Sticker Star and Color Splash, and they're based on the design of the Pokies from Super Mario Bros. 2. And there's also new Toad designs for the desert as well. I think it's definitely pretty cool and definitely fitting to the different locations that they actually have different designs for the different locations, because I think it's definitely more interesting and unique than just regular toads in all of the different areas. Like, Origami King actually kind of went above and beyond with its world theming. Like, compared to the other modern Paper Mario games, actually has a lot of interesting themes. So I think it's pretty cool that they actually kind of, with this mod, they actually added like characters that kind of go along with these themes more. Because the problem with Origami King is while it had these really cool themes, it didn't really have like that many original characters or like NPC variety. So it is nice to see all of these characters complement these different areas. So like the little Mauser here from originally from Yoshi's Island, but also in 64 and Thousand Year Door. But yeah, definitely pretty fitting that the Toads have like outfits that are kind of like fitting with the desert and everything, as well as Rex from Super Mario World, which is pretty cool. Really nice to see all of these species here. There's one of the species from Thousand Year Door. It's really cool that this mod is kind of adding in a lot more species that the original game was lacking. Like, here's a bandit here. But yeah, this is really cool. And also up here, there's actually a Dugan that's selling accessories, which is pretty fitting because they sold badges in the older games. So yeah, let's check out some of the other areas. Okay, so now I'm at Picnic Road, and here's a new NPC here, like a blue Koopa Troopa. Even though it's not really that original of a character, I do like blue Koopa Troopas because they remind me of, like New Super Mario Bros. DS with the blue shell and everything. And the Origami Koopa Troopas and Paratroopas actually have shades like they did in 64,000 Year Door and Super Paper Mario. So I think that is pretty cool. They actually have it in battle and everything. But yeah, that's pretty cool to see it's kind of in line with the older games and everything, and consistent with the older games, is I feel like that's one thing that's kind of disappointing about the modern Paper Mario games. It kind of like ended a lot of the traditions that the older Paper Mario games set in like the first 3 games. So it's cool that this mod is kind of like reviving some of these older traditions and everything. I know they're like small things, but I think it's just really cool overall, and it definitely improves the presentation of this game. But yeah, there's a lot of improvements being made here. And then looking down here, there's some more new NPCs. And the designs of the items also kind of look a little different as well. I did mention the weapons, but also like the Fire Flower looks more similar to the Fire Flower design from the older Paper Mario games, which in itself is kind of similar to the design from Super Mario World. And then there's also a new character here. So it's cool that there's original NPCs here as well. Oh, and there's also a Spiky Goomba. Yeah, the Spiky Goombas were in the older games, but they also referenced the Spike Helmet in Sticker Star and Color Splash, but it wasn't referenced in Origami King. So it's cool to see that this mod is kind of bringing back the Spiky Goomba and Spike Helmet in some form. Okay, so here's Overlook Mountain. So I wanted to look here a little bit. There's another Spiky Goomba over there. And Monty Bolt here, that sold like the one orb to the Koopas, and then when Mario came up here, he now actually has like a more interesting design here. So definitely looks pretty shady now, which is fitting. Rather than just like a regular Monty Bowl. So let's go over to another area to see even more changes. So let's go to Logan Studios. So in the original game, Logan Studios definitely did showcase a lot of interesting and slightly unique NPCs, but I feel like this game improves it to a point to where it's like much more memorable with its NPCs and makes the NPCs like more interesting. I mean, they were already kind of interesting to a degree in Origami King, but they seemed like more like regular costumes rather than like actual interesting characters. So it's cool that this game improves things. Like here's a toad with a mustache and an outfit. These are definitely things that I felt like the original game was lacking. Yeah, and up here, it also references the one character from the Rochambeau temples from Color Splash. And there's also an unused NPC, because I think that was in the concept art, like with a shy guy with like a basket over his mask or his face and everything. So I think that's pretty cool. And then there's another Dugan here. And yeah, and here's a cool ninja with a different color wearing an outfit. So yeah, I think like the NPCs look more interesting and more memorable this time, which is definitely something that I wanted out of this game. So it's cool that the mod is actually adding it here. Like this Goomba. But yeah, like I said, this is still a work in progress. They're still like adding new things to this and everything, but I really like the progress so far, and I really like how it looks so far. And if you want to check out this mod for yourself, I'll put the link to their Discord server as well as their Twitter in the description, and I'll also put a link to the current full release as well. There is like a beta release for the next update, but that is kind of buggy, so I kind of want to send a link to the current full release. And yeah, it's really cool what they're doing here. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server if you want to. Goodbye.